Hey world, how's it going? I'm just getting off my rough and nasty road, so hopefully the camera won't be bouncing as much now. I come to you today thinking about our world and how split we are. We have race issues in our country, we have wealth issues in our country, we have party issues in our country, we have drug issues in our country. And I'm trying to figure out what's the best way we as Americans can unite, work together, and come together. I mean, when we look at the Congress approval ratings right now, we're talking less than 10% of the American people are happy with what's going on. So obviously, we all have a lot in common when it comes to we recognize that there are some serious issues going on. Now, we're going to have different perspectives on how to fix those issues and how to change them. But if we have a lot in common, maybe we should be working on what unites us instead of dividing us. First of all, I don't have a political party I can support, so I've already had this conversation. But I listen to the liberals, and they talk about how disrespectful and self-centered Donald Trump is. Okay, true point. Then I listen to the Republicans, and I listen to, well, Hillary Clinton has got email scandal, Benghazi scandal. She stole $200,000 worth of stuff from the White House. All true points. And so it comes down to, are we voting on people on who's the lesser of two evils? Why are we not uniting as Americans on things that we can all get behind? Shouldn't we all be able to get behind the fact that we do not want a egotistical, self-righteous, disrespectful human being in office in Donald Trump? Seems fair. Let's all unite behind that. But at the same token, for all my liberal friends, can't we unite behind the fact that we do not want someone that is a criminal, someone that has stolen from government property, someone that is so corrupt, she has so many different scandals around her, it's embarrassing. And then on top of that, it bothers me. And then the hypocrisy of both sides. Again, I'm not just trying to pick on one side. The left was all about impeaching George W. Bush, and for good reason. When it came to the Iraq War, completely unconstitutional. We lost thousands of lives. We killed hundreds of thousands of people just for oil and keeping Halliburton happy. And now those same people that wanted him impeached are supporting Hillary Clinton, who supported all of the wars and is bought and owned by Goldman Sachs and the big banks. So my question became, how do we unite? Because obviously both sides have very solid ammunition that is excellent when it comes to recognizing the serious faults in the other party. But I started realizing that I think our main issue in our country is we are so focused on flinging mud at the other person that we don't recognize the mud on our own people. Or we're just willing to overlook our own guys as we push as we push our own agenda, pointing out how evil and horrible the other person is. And so I would suggest this. First of all, if you're a liberal, I understand 95% or higher of your pages are all going to be liberal pages. But that's propaganda. That's not education. You're literally just propagandizing yourself. That's just as bad as what Germany did. You know, when I look at what's going on in our country, I now understand what happened with the Jews in Nazi Germany. It just takes a little bit of time. We're doing the same thing with the wealthy people in our country. We're throwing them under the bus. They haven't done anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a couple scumbags out there, but in general, the vast majority of them became wealthy by helping people. And they now are the trash of the trash in our country. Just because we all decided to start hating on them because of propaganda. And so my suggestion for liberals and Republicans is plain and simple. If you're a hardcore Republican, go and like a few Facebook pages that are consistently liberal. Go find when your buddy posts some page that's, anti your guy or anti your party, go like it. Go find 5 pages, 10 pages of people that are the complete opposite of you and educate yourself on both sides. And I think we as Americans will be able to start uniting that, hey, both these parties are corrupt to the gills. I mean, we're not talking a little bit. We are talking corrupt. We have Hillary Clinton, who has done more illegal and shady things than most, running as a president for the United States. Edward Snowden, who tried to help Americans by promoting the Constitution, ends up running for his life away from our government. Hillary Clinton's scandals are far worse, yet she's running for president. That's your liberal party. Then you have Donald Trump, who obviously is a disaster. He's disrespectful. He's a hothead. He's all of these things. And on top of all of that, he bashes on Edward Snowden. So neither one of these guys are supporting the Constitution or supporting your personal individual privacy. That should be something we should all be able to unite behind. Hey, you have the right to use your own cell phone without the government going through it. I think most Americans would agree with that. How about uniting behind corruption? Hey, if you're heavily corrupted and you're disrespectful, we should be able to unite behind that. If you're for the Iraq War, which now almost all Americans are against, we should be able to unite behind not supporting those type of people. I don't care whether it's a liberal or a Republican running for office. If we are all uniting behind just basic common things, hey, we don't want to support someone that, has a shady background or is a disrespectful human being, we're all of a sudden going to have better options to vote for president. But if we keep pursuing this insanity of brainwashing ourselves through just listening to one side of a story constantly, whether it's Republican or Democrat, we're part of the problem. We're not educating ourselves. We're not learning. And all we're doing is allowing these two parties to use us like we're puppets. I think we as Americans are starting to recognize that the system's corrupt. Bernie Sanders pointed that out this election. Ron Paul pointed it out last election. Let's start uniting as Americans on the things that we can unite behind. Thank you.